tiny bit of on and off sprinkles, if that's what you want to say. It was actually supposed to snow as well, according to the weather. It's cold enough for it to happen. And what's going on today? I guess actually maybe later today I'll go indoors to see whether or not a lot of people are wearing masks still, because apparently today it's supposed to be lifted, the mandates and all that. I would imagine initially a lot of people would just out of habit. But other than that, what did I read today? This was kind of interesting, where apparently, I guess, a drone crashed flying from one place to another, and I guess it's one of those security concerns in this case. It says, drone likely flying from Ukraine crashes in Croatia. A drone that apparently flew all the way from the Ukrainian war zone crashed overnight on the outskirts of the Croatian capital, Zagreb, triggering a loud blast but causing no injuries, Croatian authorities said Friday. A statement issued after Croatia's National Security Council meeting said the pilotless military aircraft entered Croatian airspace from neighboring Hungary at a speed of 700 kilometers per hour and an altitude of 1,300 meters. The council said that an official criminal investigation will be launched and that NATO will be informed about the incident. The crash means that the large drone flew at least 350 miles, apparently undetected by air defenses in Croatia and Hungary, both members of the Western Military Alliance. How would that actually get past with something that huge, huh? Doesn't even show up on the radar or anything like that? So what kind of drone was it? It says military experts of the Warzone Online magazine said that the aircraft is likely a Soviet-era Tu-141 Strits reconnaissance drone that must have severely malfunctioned and crossed over the entirety of Hungary and into Croatia from Ukraine. It said that Ukraine is the only known current operator of the Tu-141. That's one heck of a flyaway error, isn't it? If that's the case anyways. Apparently no one was hurt or anything, which is all good. At the same time, again, it makes you wonder, how did something this big go undetected for that long? And it brings up the point again where if you want to, I guess, regulate things like a drone, like in this case, I don't think it's consumer drones you should be worried about in this case. It's these huge military ones, and you need to focus more on things like countermeasures versus over-the-top regulations, huh? And during these times of war, it seems like every country's banning each other. For example, people in North America wanting to ban all Russian-related news sources and all that. But how about this one? It's kind of interesting. There's a search engine called DuckDuckGo, which I guess kind of gained popularity with some people because they say they aren't biased, like say a Google or something like that. But apparently, just recently, I guess the founder announced that they will start to classify various Russian sources as disinformation and so forth, de-ranking them. Like here this person writes, like so many others, I'm sickened by Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the gigantic humanitarian crisis it continues to create. At DuckDuckGo, we've been rolling out search updates that downrank sites associated with Russian disinformation. In addition to downranking sites associated with disinformation, we also often place news modules and information boxes at the top of DuckDuckGo search results, where they are seen and clicked for the most to highlight quality information for rapidly unfolding topics. So there lies the controversy, I guess, too, because I guess on a surface level it sounds fine and dandy, but as people ask, how is it that you're going to determine who's the quote misinformation and all that? Because funny enough, people even brought up their very old, I guess, post, like this one that says, when you search, you expect unbiased results, but that's not what you get on Google. So they can attack Google and so forth, but a lot of people are saying, what's the difference what they are doing, which is kind of true in many ways. Where do you find the balance? And in these cases, should companies just remain neutral in this sense? I still think it's kind of dangerous overall to start determining what is quote misinformation and what isn't when you don't really know ultimately in the end. Take all the recent news about, like, say, mandates and stuff. I mean, it seems like a lot of people are backtracking now just based on available data that's coming out. So like there, can you imagine if this is what ends up happening, where down the road they'll realize, okay, this wasn't the case, but at the same time you were silencing, let's say, all those people who were saying otherwise. So in that case, you would have been in the wrong side of history if, again, that turns out to be the case. So how can you sit there and determine whether or not you are the one that's always right to determine what, again, is misinformation and all that? That's why for myself, I usually don't take the extreme. I try to think of things rationally, get all the facts and all that, because ultimately in the end, I wouldn't know what the answer is until once everything is done. And I think at this point, when it comes to these type of topics, we aren't done, so to speak. So we really don't know ultimately. Alright, see you guys later.